Jesus and his 12 disciples were in Jerusalem. They had traveled a long way to be there, and the city was bustling with activity. The streets were filled with people preparing for the upcoming festival. It was the week of Passover, a special time for Jewish people. Families gathered to celebrate and remember their history. The air was filled with the aroma of traditional foods being prepared. They remembered when God freed their ancestors from slavery. This event was a cornerstone of their faith, a powerful reminder of God's love and protection. Jesus and his disciples gathered to eat a meal together. It was a moment of fellowship and reflection, a time to share stories and strengthen their bond. This was the Last Supper. Jesus knew it would be their final meal together before his crucifixion, making it a deeply significant occasion. The disciples were happy to be with Jesus. They cherished these moments, unaware of the trials that lay ahead. They knew Jesus loved them very much. His actions and words always conveyed his deep affection and care for each of them. The disciples knew that Jesus was a great teacher. His wisdom and insights had transformed their lives, guiding them on a path of righteousness. He taught them about God's love and forgiveness. These teachings were the foundation of their faith, lessons they would carry forward to others. They listened closely to his every word. Each lesson was a precious gift, a piece of wisdom that would guide them in the days to come. At the meal, Jesus did something unexpected. He did something that would leave a lasting impression on his disciples. He got up from the table, leaving his place of honor. He poured water into a basin and began to wash the disciples' feet. The disciples were shocked. They couldn't believe what they were seeing. Washing feet was a servant's job. It was a task reserved for the lowest of the low. Peter, one of Jesus' closest friends, protested. He couldn't accept that his master would lower himself to perform such a humble act. "Lord, you should not wash my feet," Peter exclaimed, his voice filled with emotion. Jesus said, "I am doing this to show you what it means to serve others." He wanted to teach them a lesson in humility and service. Jesus wanted his disciples to be humble and kind. He wanted them to understand that true leadership comes from serving others, not from being served. Jesus broke bread and shared it with his disciples. This act was more than just a meal, it was a profound moment of connection and teaching. Jesus wanted his disciples to understand the significance of what he was doing. He said, "Take, eat, this is my body." By saying this, Jesus was symbolizing that the bread represented his body, which would be given up for them. Then Jesus took a cup of wine and said, "Drink from it, all of you." The wine symbolized his blood, which would be shed for the forgiveness of sins. "This is my blood of the covenant, which is poured out for many for the forgiveness of sins." This new covenant was a promise of a new relationship between God and humanity. Jesus was explaining that he would soon give his life for them. His words were filled with love and sacrifice, preparing them for what was to come. His death would be a sacrifice, a gift to all people. This sacrifice was not just for his disciples, but for everyone, offering a path to redemption. This sacrifice would bring forgiveness and new life. Through his actions, Jesus was showing the ultimate act of love and paving the way for a new beginning for all who believed in him. Jesus wanted his disciples to always remember him. He asked them to continue to share bread and wine together regularly. This would be a special way to remember his ultimate sacrifice. The Last Supper is very important for Christians today. It reminds them of Jesus' great love and sacrifice. It helps them to remember his sacrifice and to follow his teachings faithfully.